fighting hunger, poverty, and inequality, and the promotion of sustainable development. We will promote the overcome of all ways of inequality that exists in the world, and that the BRICS will continue to be a driving force of a new international order that will have more fairness and an indispensable player to promote peace, to promote multilateralism, and in the defense of the international order and rule. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Lula da Silva, for your statement. It now gives me a privilege to ask President Vladimir Putin, President of the Russian Federation, to speak.
Your Excellency, Mr. President, dear friends, dear colleagues, just like other participants of today's event, I would like to thank our South African friends for the efforts they have made during our joint work. I appreciate their efforts, and I would like to note, as it turned out, this was a challenging work, and President Ramaphosa showed unique diplomatic mastery as we negotiated all the positions, including when it comes to BRICS expansion. Just now, Brazilian counterpart President Lula da Silva highlighted the most important aspects for all of us, and I would like to especially emphasize the issues for mutual currency settlement, united currency issue. This is a challenging task. Nevertheless, we will move towards resolution. And the second thing that I would like to mention, it has to do with ensuring settlements between our countries in economic terms. I would like to congratulate new BRICS members on the full membership. They will assume their membership next year. Let me assure all of the colleagues that we will keep up with the work that we have launched to expand BRICS' influence in the world. Namely, I mean ensuring practical collaboration with new BRICS members and with those who will be working with BRICS within the outreach format, with our partners who pay attention to cooperation with our group and that are willing to work with us. We really appreciate and respect that, and we will definitely ensure a smooth work. Certainly, we will consult with all the colleagues on how to best arrange this work during discussions at the level of foreign ministers and other agencies. We will establish the relevant rules and procedures so that the role and importance of BRICS in the world continue to grow. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, President Putin, for your statement. We now call upon Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. I asked him this morning whether the lunar module is still firmly on the ground on the moon, and he said yes. So yesterday we congratulated India for landing a lunar model on the moon. So maybe he'll be outlining the scientific aspects of how the lunar model is going to proceed forward. Prime Minister.
एक्सेलेंसीज, मीडिया के साथियों, नमस्कार। सबसे पहले मैं राष्ट्रपति मेरे मित्र रामाफोसा जी को इस ब्रिक्स समिट के सफल आयोजन के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं, उनका अभिनंदन करता हूं। मुझे खुशी है कि 3 दिन की इस बैठक से कई सकारात्मक परिणाम सामने आए हैं। हमने ब्रिक्स की 15वीं वर्षगांठ पर इसका विस्तार करने का महत्वपूर्ण फैसला लिया है। जैसा मैंने कल कहा था, भारत ने ब्रिक्स की सदस्यता में विस्तार का हमेशा से पूरी तरह समर्थन किया है। भारत का ये मत रहा है कि नए सदस्यों के जुड़ने से ब्रिक्स एक संगठन के रूप में मजबूत तथा हमारे सभी साझा प्रयासों को एक नया बल देने वाला होगा। इस कदम से विश्व के अनेक देशों का मल्टीपोलर वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर में विश्वास और सुदृढ़ होगा। मुझे खुशी है कि हमारी टीम्स ने मिलकर एक्सपांशन के गाइडिंग प्रिंसिपल्स, स्टैंडर्ड्स, क्राइटेरिया और प्रोसीड्यूर पर सहमति बनाई है और इनके आधार पर आज हम अर्जेंटीना, इजिप्ट, ईरान, सऊदी अरब, इथियोपिया और यूएई का ब्रिक्स में स्वागत करने के लिए सहमत हुए हैं। सबसे पहले मैं इन देशों के लीडर्स और वहां के नागरिकों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। मुझे विश्वास है कि इन देशों के साथ मिलकर हम अपने सहयोग को एक नई गति और नई ऊर्जा देंगे। भारत के इन सभी देशों के साथ बहुत ही गहरे संबंध है, बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक संबंध है। ब्रिक्स की मदद से हमारे द्विपक्षीय सहयोग में नए आयाम अवश्य जुड़ेंगे। जिन अन्य देशों ने भी ब्रिक्स से जुड़ने की अभिलाषा व्यक्त की है,
On your marks, get set, go!
तो मेरे मम्मा को भोजन ही बोलते थे कि इसको मार दो, कुछ खिला के मार दो, तू नहीं संभाल पाएगी, तो घरों में काम करती है, तो कैसे संभालेगी इसको। मेरा नाम आकाश मेहरा है। 2012 में मेरा एक्सीडेंट हो गया था रेल हादसे में, जिसमें मेरी दोनों टांगें कट गई थी। तो मैं कम से कम 1.5 घंटा प्लेटफॉर्म पे पड़ा रहा। मुझे किसी ने हेल्प नहीं की, मुझे कोई हाथ पकड़ नहीं पा रहा था क्योंकि खून से लथपथ था मैं। तो मैंने फिर जर्नलिंग चूज़ किया तो उसके बाद फिर मेरी 2017 में फिर मेरा एशिया यूथ में फर्स्ट मेरा स्टेट में मेडल आया। तो जब मेरे मम्मा मेरे पास में आए, मेरे मम्मा तुरंत ही रोने लग पड़े उस चीज़ को लेके। एक्सीडेंट के बाद जो मैंने पैर लगवाए थे आर्टिफिशियल्स भी बहुत ज़्यादा डैमेज हो चुके हैं। उससे मैं चल नहीं पाता अभी अच्छे तरीके से, अपनी एक्टिविटीज़ हैं वो अच्छे तरीके से नहीं कर पाता। मेरी फैमिली मेरी लेग्स चेंज करवाने के लिए अभी नहीं इतनी हेल्प कर सकते वो भी, जो मेरे आर्टिफिशियल लिम्स हैं।
दुनिया भर में भी इस सफलता को एक देश की सीमित सफलता के रूप में नहीं, लेकिन पूरी मानव जाति की एक महत्वपूर्ण सफलता के रूप में स्वीकार किया जा रहा है। ये हम सभी लोगों के लिए अत्यंत गर्व का विषय है और भारत के वैज्ञानिकों को पूरे विश्व की तरफ से अभिनंदन का अवसर है। फ्रेंड्स, कल शाम भारत के चंद्रयान ने चांद के दक्षिण ध्रुव पर सॉफ्ट लैंडिंग की। ये केवल भारत के लिए ही नहीं, बल्कि पूरे विश्व के वैज्ञानिक समुदाय के लिए एक बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है। और जिस क्षेत्र में भारत ने अपना टारगेट तय किया था, वहां पहले कभी कोई प्रयास नहीं हुआ है और ये प्रयास सफल हुआ है। तो बड़ा डिफिकल्ट टेरेन के ऊपर विज्ञान हमें पहुंचा पाया है। ये अपने आप में विज्ञान की, वैज्ञानिकों की बड़ी सफलता है। इस ऐतिहासिक अवसर पर आप सबकी तरफ से मुझे भारत को, भारत के वैज्ञानिकों को और दुनिया की वैज्ञानिक कम्युनिटी को जो बधाई के संदेश मिले हैं, मैं सार्वजनिक रूप से आप सबका, मेरी तरफ से, मेरे देशवासियों की तरफ से और मेरे वैज्ञानिकों की तरफ से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूं। थैंक यू।
Of my Indian scientists. Thank you very much.
It now gives, thank you very much, Prime Minister Modi. It now gives me the pleasure to ask President Xi Jinping, President of the People's Republic of China, to make his statement.
President Ramaphosa, colleagues, friends from the press, I am pleased to join you here. At the outset, I wish to thank President Ramaphosa and the South African government for the thoughtful arrangements they made for the BRICS summit this year. BRICS countries are all countries with important influence and shoulder important responsibilities for world peace and development. During the summit, we had in-depth exchanges on the current international situation and BRICS cooperation, reached broad consensus, adopted the declaration, and achieved fruitful outcomes. Leaders of the 5 countries unanimously agreed to invite Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, Argentina, Iran, and Ethiopia to the BRICS family as official members. China congratulates these countries and highly appreciate the efforts made by our chair, South Africa, and President Ramaphosa. This membership expansion is historic. It shows the determination of BRICS countries for unity and cooperation with the broader developing countries. It meets the expectation of the international community and the common interests of emerging market countries and developing countries. The expansion is also a new starting point for BRICS cooperation. It will bring new vigor to the BRICS cooperation mechanism, further strengthen the force for world peace and development. I am confident, as long as we work with a common purpose, there's a lot BRICS cooperation can achieve, and the future will be bright for BRICS countries. Let us work together to write a new chapter of emerging market countries and developing countries working together in unity for development. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Xi. Ordinarily, in the acronym of BRICS, after Brazil, Russia, India, and China having spoken, it would now be the opportunity for the President of South Africa, President Ramaphosa, to speak. But he has already spoken. So that brings us to the end of our press statement. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your attendance. We have reached the end. Thank you.
We may be seated. Thank you. Your Excellencies, heads of states and government from the BRICS member states, the honorable ministers present from BRICS member states, ladies and gentlemen of the media, welcome to this session, the session that will present the Johannesburg Declaration of the 15th BRICS Summit. President Ramaphosa will, as chair of the summit and of BRICS, will kick off with the opening statements, and thereafter the president will invite his counterparts and colleagues from the BRICS member states to also present their statement. I'd like to now invite President Ramaphosa to kick us off with the media statement. Mr. President.
Thank you, Program Director, Your Excellencies, and the various guests who are here with us, members of the media, and leaders of various organizations. It is a pleasure to present to you two matters. The first is to inform and advise you that the BRICS leaders in the 15th BRICS Summit have, over the past 2 days, had occasion to have discussions both in a retreat form as well as in a proper official summit. And in the course of those discussions, have reached a conclusion to adopt the Johannesburg II Declaration as a declaration that encompasses and covers the various issues that the leaders had to decide on. These matters have been in discussion for over a year in various iterations and meetings, being prepared by our Sherpas and ministers in various meetings. And in the end, the declaration has now been adopted as Declaration 2, Johannesburg Declaration 2, and is adopted. And now we come to the media statement, which I will read out, and thereafter each one of the BRICS leaders will make a statement. We have successfully concluded the 15th BRICS Summit yesterday. It is the first BRICS Summit to be hosted in person since COVID-19 pandemic and the subsequent global travel restrictions. Leading up to the summit, there was a wide-ranging BRICS business forum attended by some 1,500 business people from BRICS countries as well as from other countries from around the globe. This business forum was aimed at attracting investment, promoting collaboration, and showcasing opportunities within South Africa, the African continent, and indeed BRICS countries as well. We had an opportunity to receive a report from the president of the New Development Bank, Dilma Rousseff, on the vision and the role of the bank and the role that it intends to play to support infrastructure and sustainable development in Africa and in the Global South. We celebrated the 10th anniversary of the establishment of the BRICS Business Council and welcomed their report and the subsequent recommendations that they made to the leaders. We also welcomed the work of the BRICS Women's Business Alliance in their first in-person engagement with the BRICS leaders. We particularly welcomed the participation of youth representatives in the summit. We endorsed our expectations for the BRICS economic partnership to generate tangible benefits for our communities and deliver viable solutions for common challenges faced by the Global South. We shared our vision of BRICS as a champion of the needs and concerns of the peoples of the Global South. These include the need for beneficial economic growth, sustainable development, and the reform of multilateral systems. We reiterate our commitment to inclusive multilateralism and upholding international law, including the purposes and principles enshrined in the United Nations Charter. We are concerned about ongoing conflicts in many parts of the world. We stress our commitment to the peaceful resolution of differences and disputes through dialogue and inclusive consultation. The summit noted that an unbalanced recovery from the hardships of COVID-19 pandemic is exacerbating inequality across the world. We encourage multilateral financial institutions and international organizations to play a constructive role in building global consensus on economic policies. We have noted that there is global momentum for the use of local currencies, alternative financial arrangements, and alternative payment systems. As BRICS, we are ready to explore opportunities for improving the stability, reliability, and fairness of the global financial architecture. In this regard, BRICS leaders have tasked their finance ministers and central bank governors, as appropriate, to consider the issue of local currencies, payment instruments, and platforms, and to report back to the BRICS leaders by the next summit. This summit